day here in the QC, Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm glad to see it. I hope everyone is well today, able to get out and enjoy this day, as I always like to say, that the Most High has given us. Getting out, getting some fresh air, sunshine, and exercise. Now, I did have a great thought I wanted to share today, but first I wanted to share this clip from the prior day's recording that I didn't add to that recording. On the way home, the Most High was really dealing with me about my responsibility to my word. He was reminding me of Mr. Foster and how he was depending on my obedience to what the Most High was telling me to do for my help, in order so he can be empowered to walk in his good health. By seeing someone actually walking it out, by actually seeing my scars and hearing my story, he was empowered to say, okay, Most High, you did it for him, you can do it for me. So I just wanted to, as my word of encouragement today, to let your light shine. Answer the call of duty so that men may see your light. And basically your light is your example of the Most High's work in you. Other people are always watching. Other people are always watching and listening to see how you're going to handle certain situations the Most High allow you to go through. Just like that major stroke I went through and all the following operations and rehab, people was watching us. And I say us because me and my wife are a team. They weren't only watching me and seeing how I was handling it, they was watching her to see her resolve through the whole situation. another fine day here in the QC, Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm so glad to see it. I do hope everyone is well today, and as I always say, you're able to get out and enjoy this beautiful day the Most High has given us, getting you some exercise and some fresh air and sunshine, and we have a little both, a little sunshine and fresh air out today. It's nice and brisk. But as always, I do have a thought I wanted to share. And this is going to be another part 2 to a thought that I shared from a previous recording with a previous recording. And it is the call of duty. Can you see the light? The call of duty. Can you see the light? And just as we were sharing on the last recording about answering the call that the Most High is making to us all, this recording is going to be basically the same, but adding to that call. And like I said, everyone is given this call. But like the text also says, many are called, but few are chosen. And what I've come to understand in my little 50 years here on this earth is that call is being rejected. That's why it's saying few are chosen. Because you do know we actually choose ourselves, right? Yeah, that's what the text really means. Of course, the Most High chooses us for different positions and roles. But also, as I said in a prior recording, we have a plan A and a plan B for each of our lives. And it's up to us to choose the plan A, which is the Most High's plan for our lives, the call of duty. And I know there's a popular game that's out called the Call of Duty. And this is quite similar, because we are in a battle daily to answer this call. We are in a battle for the call and for our word. And I guess you could say the word about our calling, because as soon as that word is put out about us, here come the enemy trying to take it. And that's whatever word, but the one I'm talking about now is the call into the kingdom. And see, everybody that we think gonna make the kingdom ain't gonna make the kingdom, because they're not really answering the call. They're fronting, or they're perpetrating the fraud, as we used to like to say on the streets, that they are actually answering the call, but they're doing it for men's approval and not the Most High's approval. And another thought the Most High has been whispering in my heart the last few weeks, I just never have spoken it out loud. But everybody that say they're Israel are not Israel. Everybody that say shalom and all the other greetings and all the other sayings are not Israel. Because just like we used to say on the streets, you can talk a good game, but you gotta walk the walk. And I don't know why I'm heading in that direction, but truth be told. But yeah, answering the call of duty. Can you see the light? And what I said in the first recording was, can other people see the light in your life? Can they see the Most High's glory shining off of you? Can they see it even when you don't speak? Can they see it through your actions, through your walk, through how you carry yourself, through what you don't say? Oh boy, that's a big one there, about what you don't say. Because a lot of times, that's where the problem comes. Not what you say, but what you don't say. Because a lot of times I heard this lady teaching about wanting to call somebody out about what they had said. And of course we all do. We all want justice, and just like I was thinking yesterday, and I went to sleep with this on my mind, about about me going to a park one day and riding the trails, and these guys sitting in the car when I went through the trail and I came back. I was actually in the children's park, which the trails go all over the park. They connect each area of the park to each other. So they had the nerve to say, this is kiddie park. Don't you know this the kiddie park? And I said to myself, let me ride over there and see what they talking about. And I rode over there. And when I rode over there, I saw the fear in all three of them's eyes, because it was three people in a car. It was two men sitting in the front seat and one lady in the back seat. And I myself wanted to ask them, because they didn't have no pigment, or no color, I should say. And that all that was out there was people of color. So my first thought was, what are you doing out here? What are you folks doing out here? You looking to snatch a baby or something? But I held my peace and kept my peace that day. But that thought came back to me last night as I was trying to sleep. And I said, this is not going to work. I'm not going to be offended by somebody that came through my life and passed on through my life that I'll never see again. More than likely I will. But that was a very troubling situation for me, because sometimes that old hood will come at you. Especially when you've been raised 20, 30 some odd years with nothing but hood. Then all of a sudden you're changing. And it's taking the Most High daily working with you to bring that mess out of you. And it's no easy feat on our part, but it's easy for him. But what the problem is, we don't want to let it go. We want to speak our piece. We want to say what we want to say. We have the right, we feel, because they was wrong. And see, that's what gets us in trouble the most of the time. Opening that big chopper when we feel we have the right. But the Most High say, not so. He commands us to love. Actually, like I was going to say, he demands us to love. And loving and answering that call of duty, so people can see the light coming out of you. Most of the time it's not what you say or do, but what you don't say and do. I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days. And some sleepless nights. When I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. So I won't complain. And the thought that just keeps coming back to my mind is that if we walk in the Spirit, we will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And that makes sense to answering the call of duty and making certain that folks see the light in your life. Because in reality, if they don't see the light, they see darkness. And all that darkness really means is not the perfect will of the Most High for your life. But text also says we're drawn away by our lust. And that's basically by what we want to do, how we want to do it, and when we want to do it. And that's a sad place to find yourself in, because it always ends in sadness and heartbreak. And I can attest to that. And that text said, walk in the Ruach, or walk in the Spirit. And that simply means doing what the Most High tell you to do. I was just thinking about that song, Every Round Goes Higher and Higher. And how nice and sweet that sounds. But just like me out here right now, I'm feeling those squats, those 100 squats that I did earlier today. And from yesterday. But I gotta know that the next round is gonna be something better for me. And we tend to think this way also spiritually. Until all hell starts breaking loose and you find yourself in high water. Pardon me. And you have no choice but to call on the Most High, like you did once again when you was a chap in Him, or a babe in the Most High, or Mashiach. And see, that's what each level would call us to. Getting back on them knees like a chap and begging and calling out for the Most High's direction. And from my understanding, when you keep that posture, then you'll move up quicker each round. That don't mean you're not going to call out for direction, because your back is going to be against the wall. Because that's what living in the Spirit is all about. And see, something else I've learned in these little 50 years. You can't live the spiritual life according to the physical life. Oh, 9 times out of 10, they're going to contradict each other. Well, I shouldn't say 9 times out of 10, because of course they line up. When you line up with the Most High's will for your life, then the physical is going to line up. And people are going to begin to see the light in your life, or the Most High's glory on you. Because just as I said in my writings, which I didn't put out, but I told my wife, the Most High is not going to call you up higher until He's trained and prepared you for that thinner air on the next level. So how He look, a loving Father calling you up And when you get up there, you fall out because the air is too thin for your lungs. But how many of us know that everything we've been through in the past has been in preparation for what we're going through now and for what we're going to go through in the future? And like I said on the prior recording, all we have to do is answer the call. And something else that's been in my heart all day. I didn't write it down. I think the Most High reminded me of it. But it's no special effort on your part that you need to make to answer this call. You just have to say yes. And like I say, the effort is doing exactly what the Most High tell you to do, when He tell you to do it, and how He tell you to do it. And say it like I just finished saying, want to do things our way, when we want to do it, and how we want to do it. And it's something, it's all about what I always like to say, and I do always say this. You just must submit and commit. And I did a recording on them too. Actually, it was 3 words. But submitting and committing right now is what's coming to my spirit. If we submit, which means getting down on our knees and asking the Most High for His direction, and then commit to the orders He give us, because once we show we're submitted to Him, He's always going to talk to us. See, the text says He doesn't hear a sinner's prayer. And that's because of the individual. They're happy with their circumstances and their situation. They don't want change. So He's not going to waste His time even, what's the word I wanted? It just crossed my mind. Entertaining those fake prayers. So when you bump that onion enough, you'll submit, and then He'll answer the call once He sees you are committed. After you submit, He's going to give you a tester to see if you're totally committed and submitted. He's going to tell you to do something to see how you carry out the orders. Really about it or not, as Master P used to say, which I also did a video about that. You ain't about that life. And what I was saying in that video or that recording is you ain't about that life of sin that's whooping you every turn you make, that's breaking you down to your very last compound, to your knees, but you so stubborn and prideful, you don't want to submit and commit to the Most High. Now, I don't know how I got way over there, but I do know. It's all about the call of duty, answering the call by saying yes, so that folks can see the light of the world in you.